Okay. So did you all get my email, my 2 emails today? Yes, 2 emails. Okay, hang on. Folks are still joining me. Okay. So the first email I sent you was giving you an extension on your lit review. So your lit review will be due on Thursday. I think I said by midnight. Thursday midnight for your lit review. Okay. Some of you have already submitted that to me. I will give you feedback. Ashley Hoffer, I know I've given you feedback already. Is that right?
Sorry, I was muted. I'm pulling up my email now. I'll double check.
Okay, yeah, I gave you feedback. Nelson, I know you sent me your lit review. I have not looked at yours yet. Ashley, I happened to look at yours when I was right. I was right on my email when you sent it to me. So that's why I looked at yours first. So I just want to make sure that we're clear. I'm going to go through, I'm going to go back and just do a little bit of review. Some of you, hold on, someone's coming in again. Okay. So some of you are still a little bit confused about what's happening with the lit review. The lit review is where you're telling me exactly what your sources are. It's not an annotated bibliography. Pardon me, excuse me. Not an annotated bibliography. It's just like the example I shared with you. So and I had my annotated my lit review and the link on the last page of that PowerPoint. I will pull that up and I will share that. So we're all on the same page. This is the PowerPoint I shared, going all the way down where it says McDonald review, lit review example. Okay, so that's all in that PowerPoint that I shared several weeks ago. Okay, so that's there. I also want to make sure we're understanding kind of our argumentative work. And we know that ethos, pathos, and logos have to be in our argumentative section. That is that's all you're doing. There is no introduction to that part because you've already written your introduction. It's basically you getting into the meat of why this is such a critical issue. That's your argumentative spot. So if I'm you, that's my ethos, pathos, and logos right there. I don't need a conclusion because you're going to write that later, right? That's a separate section in your paper. So it's your introduction, your lit review, your argument, and your conclusion, your works cited. So your argument section is your ethos, pathos, and logos. That's probably as clear as I can make that. But I wanted to make sure that we're understanding what this is. Pathos is emotion, logos is logic, ethos are ethics. We talked about this extensively. You've written about it the entire semester. These terms are not new for us. So I just want to make sure you're understanding what your argument section looks like. Okay? You're not writing an introduction to your argument section. You're only writing about your argument. Is that clear? Because if you go back, and if you look at the PowerPoint that I sent to you earlier, again, I put our MLA reminder here. Some of you still are not doing that correctly, so I put it back in. This is what your heading should look like. This is exactly what your final paper should look like. Introduction, lit review, argument, conclusion, your works cited page. Bold and in bold, introduction. In bold, literature review. Bold, argument. Okay? Shouldn't be any confusion about what your paper looks like in terms of format. Okay? Questions there? Your PowerPoint expectations should be at least 5 to 6 slides. Share with me 24 hours ahead of time. And your slide should be what relevant research did you find? What's there? And you're giving a 2 to 3 minute presentation to us. You're sharing your screen. I don't really care what PowerPoint format you use, Google Slides, Carnival, whatever. but it's 5 to 6 slides sharing what you found. Okay, sharing what you found. And then I'm grading your paper. The grades, your final course grade will be on HackWeb sometime after that. Okay. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to open it up for any questions that you might have based on the formatting that I have just shared with you, based on the deadlines that I've given you. Yes, Raquel.
So the PowerPoint presentation, is that supposed to have the same sources and the same topic as our final paper, right?
Correct, but there's no sources listed. No sources listed in your PowerPoint. It's just a summary of what you found.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Anyone else?
Professor? Yes.
Yes.
I might have missed this already. When exactly is this PowerPoint due?
That's going to be due our last class meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. That's going to take the place of a final exam for us. Because I've given you extra time. So there is no, and I'm okay with not giving a final exam. There's no need to do that. So our last meeting together will be our PowerPoint share out. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I'm gonna
Professor.
stop. Yes.
In that final, in the final submission of our paper, you want every single piece in order, correct? Not like we've
Correct.
submitted the introduction, we've submitted the review. You don't just want the argument submitted now. Now you want everything
It's
fully
all coming
edited
in one.
and
Correct.
all
Yes.
coming in one. Okay, just wanted to double check on that.
You're
Okay,
going to cut and paste what you've been doing into one final document, and it's going to be labeled your last name, final paper, English 102 or something like that. I'll tell you how to save it and send it to me.
Okay.
But yes, that's a very good question. It's going to be combined all together in those specific sections or headers that I just listed. Shay.
So for the 3,000 word count, is that after everything is done, or is that specifically just the argument?
That's everything.
Okay, thank you.
Your lit review may be the bulk of that, and that's okay. That's okay. But you want to make sure that you're addressing the ethos, pathos, and logos in your argument section. Okay. So I'm not telling you how many words you need per section. You just need 3,000 words total.
Professor, I think
Yes.
I might be. I don't know if I'm the only one confused, but so you need 3,000 words in a combination between the PowerPoint, the lit review, and the final paper.
PowerPoint does not count in your word count. PowerPoint is a separate activity.
Okay, so just the lit review and the final paper.
Introduction, lit review, argument, conclusion, works cited is all due on our last class meeting. That's your 3,000 words. That's the
Okay,
London. That's the email I shared earlier today with that PowerPoint.
got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
Professor, I have another question.
Yes.
I wanted to know if the works cited needs to be within the headings as well, kind of like the same as your paper, not at the bottom of the paper, but like throughout.
No, it's that's the last page.
Okay, thank you.
Jolly, did you get my email that I sent you?
The one with the PowerPoint?
Yes,
I got it.
perfect.
Thank you.
Jordan, did you get my email I sent? Okay, all right.
And just to clarify, the lit review can have subsections, right? If I want to split
Yes,
it by topic,
yes,
right?
yes, it should. Your lit review
Okay.
should have those headings within it that explains
Yes.
why those sources are important. Yes,
Okay, it does then. Okay.
yes, exactly. Thank you for that.
And I kind of have this, but I'm still not sure if I just should take it out. Should we have a small introduction before the lit review, like for the lit review, before we start with the sources, just to give you an overall idea of what the topic is?
That is not necessary, but if you feel you need to do that, I'm okay with that. Okay?
Okay.
Jolly's question is, should there be a 3 or 4 sentence introduction to your lit review? Totally up to you. You can incorporate that into your introduction of your paper, that first section, or you can do, as Jolly suggested, hey, a 3, 4 sentences of kind of what this is about. I'm good either way. Either way. Actually, Hopper.
How strict are you going to be with the 3,000 word count? Like, I know you're saying it includes everything, which includes the proposal, the lit review.
No proposal. No proposal.
Oh, just the lit review.
Introduction, lit review, argument, conclusion.
Okay.
Those 4 pieces.
Okay.
Yeah, let me go back to this PowerPoint and make sure we're all, oops. Hang on. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. This is exactly what your final paper should look like. Got it?
Yes,
And
thank you.
again, yeah, you're welcome. And again, that's the PowerPoint I shared with all of you today. So you could get a jump start kind of on what my lecture is going to be about today. Okay. So let's talk about how we're moving forward. Many of you sent me emails and text messages and said, you know what, my lit review is not where it needs to be. That's okay. That's okay. Because basically what I'm going to do on Thursday when I look at your lit review, I'm going to review it and give you any kind of feedback you might need. Okay. So let's say you don't have your lit review done on Thursday. No problem. No problem. I'm setting that requirement for you so it keeps you, so you keep yourself accountable. So you don't keep letting this go on and on and on. So Thursday, we're gonna talk about our lit reviews together. So you're gonna unmute and you're gonna give maybe 2 or 3 minutes of kind of what your lit review is about, what you found. Okay, that's our Thursday meeting, and that was going to be today. But I heard from several of you that you're not ready to do that. I'm okay with that. That is no problem for me because I want your best work. Okay, so Thursday, that lit review should be done because we've been laboring over that for about a week and a half. So that should be done. Research is over. There's no need to go back into any other researching. Now is the writing phase, editing and proofreading phase. So you should be on to the argument section of your paper. And if we were meeting face to face, we would be doing the very same thing we're doing remote. Me giving you time to conference with me, because what happens when I give you work time? Students are calling me. It's a help desk kind of situation. And I think that's beneficial for many students. So I want to extend to you the whole idea of why I do this, of giving you time to work so you can reach out to me and we can have conversations. So it's 5:30. We're going to come back at 6:30, and we're not going to have any more conversations about lit reviews until Thursday. Okay? No more conversations about lit reviews, no more conversations about what should it look like. I need an example. I've given you all those resources. Okay? So if I'm sitting where you are, I'm going to use Ashley Hoffer as an example. Her lit review's finished. I'm going to go right working on my argument. I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to put that lit review aside. I'm going to go right to my argument, because you can write your introduction last. You don't need to write that now. You can, but you don't. I would recommend working on your argument, because you already know where your lit review is in terms of the space and place that it's at. So I would start working on your argument and be able to solidify that by next Tuesday. Again, I'm not going to collect and grade your argument section. I'm not going to grade your introductions. I'm going to grade the paper as a whole. So I'm not going to grade individual pieces of this paper. I structure this assignment so we do it in sections, but I'm grading it together. Okay. Any clarifying questions for me? I think the worst part of this
sorry,
paper,
sir.
if there is such a thing. Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, my son was like in the background screaming. I didn't hear that last sentence that you were saying.
I don't even know what I said. I would start working on your argument. I would start working on your argument section of the paper. Now.
Yeah, that's the last thing I heard. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I would do. And use your time wisely. You're all adults. You all know what you need to do. Many of you have a solid A or a B coming into this final paper. Don't blow it. So again, my students are in A's, B's, or F's. I said that the first day we met. There's usually not C's, D's. It's either A, B, or an F. And there are some C's, there are some. But by the time in English 102, students know their limits. Students know what they need to do to get finished. And that's kind of where you are. So my level, my instruction, my lecturing, that's over. Okay. I've given you the tools. I've given you what I think you need to be successful within this, this setting. And that's time for you to do the work. Okay. So we will come back at 6:30. We'll have a debrief. If you need me, you know how to get me. I'm here. I'm here. I can take a phone call, but know that, and I will come back to that PowerPoint conversation later if we need to address that. That will not be a stressful situation. Okay, that'll be you putting together. That'll be you just going back to your paper and getting some quotes or some important references from your paper. And saying, hey, this is what I found. Hey, this was important. This is what led me to my conclusion, etc. Okay, so that PowerPoint will not be a stressful experience. Okay.
Professor, I have 2 questions.
Yes.
So the argumentative paper is not like the introduction, but it's connected to what we have in the introduction.
Correct.
Okay, and then I have one more.
Okay.
So the word count is 3,000. How close can we get to that, and how far can we go above that?
10% over or 10% under.
Okay.
Okay. We will meet back at 6:30. If you need me, you know where I am. Otherwise, good luck working on your argument or whatever you need to work on. But we'll be back at 6:30.